In 2017, a new injection diabetes drug developed by Novo Nordisk was approved by the FDA. You've probably seen one of the commercials for it. They licensed Magic by Pilot for their jingle, and such a well-known tune tweaked to say, "Oh, oh, oh, Ozempic,"
if eligible,
made it a little bit harder to forget than your typical big pharma rollout. Semaglutide, sold under the brand name Ozempic, seemed like an exciting updated option for those with type 2 diabetes looking for new and potentially more effective treatments. In contrast to many other type 2 diabetes medications on the market that may help in only one or two ways, Ozempic apparently does three. Straight from the Ozempic site, quote, "Ozempic works in three ways to lower blood sugar. 1. Helps your pancreas produce more insulin when your blood sugar is high. 2. Helps prevent your liver from making and producing too much sugar. And 3. Slows down food leaving your stomach." Unquote. While those that did not have diabetes themselves or know someone diagnosed with it may not have thought much about semaglutide, that changed very quickly. That last way that Ozempic works, quote, "slowing down food leaving your stomach," end quote, illuminated a light bulb in some. Though the Ozempic site states directly that, quote, "Ozempic is not a weight loss drug," end quote, right under that, in the same FAQ, it states that in clinical trials, those on the 2 mg dose lost an average of 14 pounds. These numbers alone might catch the eye of somebody trying to lose weight, or even the doctor of that person that had already tried other options. Because weight loss cure-alls, diets, and routines have become so ubiquitous in the rise of modern popular culture, it was only a matter of time before everybody knew about Ozempic. That attention-grabbing commercial might even be considered foreshadowing for the exploding frenzy surrounding the drug it promotes. Sometime in the past year, the internet began to speculate on the sudden weight losses of various Hollywood and cultural figures in the public view. Please note that instances brought up are not my own speculation, but the speculation or statements of others found on public sites. Elon Musk lost weight, stating that he got, quote, "fit, ripped, and healthy," unquote, with the help of semaglutide and fasting. Other celebrities that have lost weight, such as Julia Fox and Khloe Kardashian, have had to state that they are not taking weight loss drugs because of the large amount of guesswork surrounding them. You get the gist. This person and that person have dropped weight. One says they have taken Ozempic. One says it's natural. Their fans think they're lying. On and on. The scrutiny surrounding weight gains and losses has heightened more than usual recently. Imagine these rumors and conversations surrounding what seems like every fourth person in Hollywood. It's become inescapable in some corners. Buzz keeps building and building. What is going on? After years of purporting to celebrate curvy bodies, Hollywood is back to doing anything they can to be as skinny as they can be. That's what's happening. For many celebrities, it never really stopped. It seems almost as if we are in the midst of a beauty standards crisis. Hollywood is not the end-all, be-all for looking pretty anymore. Social media is brutalizing us and turning body types and features into trends faster than ever before. These pressures and this trendiness have fueled the noticeable uptick in people getting off-label prescriptions of Ozempic to drop any weight they can. While there is a version of Ozempic specifically for weight loss, Wegovy, the demand is so high that the majority of those looking to try semaglutide for weight loss go straight for Ozempic. This is a massive issue, not only for the ongoing body image issues in our culture, but for those with type 2 diabetes that could really use this drug to manage their condition. Ozempic is in such a high demand that those with type 2 diabetes that may be wanting to try this drug cannot get it at all. Not only that, but those that cannot get prescriptions are seeking out unregulated and potentially dangerous semaglutide out online. While it is incredibly obvious that the majority of people partaking in this Ozempic craze are in it for cosmetic or general weight loss reasons, that should be technically disqualifying for a prescription if that is their reasoning for wanting it alone, right? Even Wegovy, the version meant specifically for losing weight, has the stipulation that it is approved for those that have at least one weight-related condition, such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or type 2 diabetes, which the initial approval of Ozempic was already for. Ozempic is not supposed to be a cosmetic enhancement drug. We've established that. Off-label prescription of drugs is legal and extremely common, so it's not like we can just stop anyone not technically in need that's getting Ozempic through a physician. This demand for Ozempic is not going to slow anytime soon. What happens to those that are using it as a cosmetic weight loss route anyways? Rapid weight loss sounds like a dream to many, but there are some things that they might not even know of. One semi-common side effect is something colloquially known as Ozempic face. Losing a significant amount of weight too quickly, paired with altered nutritional intake, doesn't give your body adequate time to adjust to the changes. Essential elements of the skin barrier, like collagen and elastin, are depleted. Sometimes the face loses so much weight that it will look unexpectedly different. The Ozempic user's face might begin to look gaunt and too thin. It starts to sag. Aside from the face being the most obvious, fat distribution throughout the entire body might look off. While this might correct on its own if the lower body weight is maintained over time, this would probably upset the average cosmetic Ozempic user because this is not what they were expecting. It leaves them with something new to worry about. On a similar note, there is something else people are noticing and calling Ozempic butt. I'm sure you can guess what that might be. Another side effect that isn't as common but can still occur if the patient significantly restricts their calories during their time taking Ozempic is hair loss. Noticeable hair loss. That's just another cosmetic side effect that might make people take pause if they knew of it. If all that wasn't enough, the much more commonly experienced side effects by semaglutide prescribees and users include reactions to the injection site, nausea and/or vomiting, diarrhea and/or constipation, abdominal and/or stomach pain, dehydration or fatigue, and of course, other more rare side effects that are miles more unpleasant, like pancreatitis or gallstones. If a patient has a history of endocrine tumors or medullary thyroid carcinoma, we're advised to not take Ozempic at all. Ozempic does not sound like an enjoyable experience to be on, and not only that, it is very expensive. It costs $900 to $1,000 on average for a 30-day supply. For celebrities hitting the red carpet, that's pocket change, but for many of us that may or may not idolize them, that is hard not to balk at. Some insurances are even refusing to cover one or multiple semaglutide drugs because of the reputation it has gained as a vanity drug. The main danger of this Ozempic craze is that it is preying directly on our vanity, which is one of the easiest targets for something like this. A society so entranced and influenced by Hollywood and impossible, even unhealthy beauty is more than willing to jump at an opportunity to get a step closer to that. I do want to say that as a person that has been thin for my life so far, I do not have the experiences of a person that knows what it's like to be treated and scrutinized in a heightened way because of my weight. That might push me to try something like Ozempic out of desperation. From living in this society, we see how cruelly those that barely have an extra few pounds are treated. We've got the BMI scale, which has been used as a standard for years, only just barely getting questioned for not properly accounting for muscle mass, sex, and genetic influences in health. There are heartbreakingly common instances in which heavier people are discriminated against just for their weight. We have stigmatized people who aren't perfectly thin for no good reason. We have alienated them. A lot of the time, we make it harder for them to get basic things like decent clothing accessibly. Unrelated health issues are brushed off by healthcare providers who tell them that losing weight will solve all their problems. We ignore those that are actively trying but just can't lose weight. We say that we are worried for their health, then spew insults at anyone that starts a weight loss journey for just that and dares to post about it. We insult those that are happy with their weight and aren't aiming to lose any. A skinny model can chain smoke cigarettes and starve themselves, and according to fans, they're serving cunt. But if a fat person wears a swimsuit in public, they're a bad role model just for existing. We could play the double standards game all day, but hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. We have collectively made it a living hell for people that aren't deemed thin enough just to exist. Ozempic is buzzy on every social media. Some people are making jokes about it, others are speculating, and others are sharing their experiences or looking to try it and documenting their journeys. Because people are focusing on it so heavily as something to gain their ideal bodies, diabetes patients aren't the only ones in need struggling to get Ozempic or Wegovy. Those that might want Wegovy because they genuinely have weight-related health issues are also being pushed aside so the rich can get the drugs first. While Ozempic is being socially hailed as a magical weight loss method, that is not even completely true. Ozempic, because it is originally a diabetes drug, is meant to be taken indefinitely. If you take it for a period of months to lose weight and then stop, you are not unlikely to gain at least a noticeable amount of the weight back. With certain lifestyle changes, it might not be impossible to keep the weight off, but for some that are not aware, the side effects and stress of Ozempic might feel like it is all for nothing. Of course, there's nothing at all wrong with simply wanting to lose weight, but the fact that beauty expectations have gotten so extreme and overwhelming that we have caused a diabetes medication to be in sparse supply is appalling, and is the perfect example of why we need to be more willing to let people just exist without all of these bogus pressures. We are pushing people to the brink. Hollywood claims to be body positive now, but we are still getting bombarded with these unrealistic standards. Whether it's buccal fat removal or lipo some actor is getting, maybe steroids they're taking, and then turning around claiming it's their natural body or hard work, it is all artificial. We may say we know that. Nothing we see is real. We say that, but our subconscious still internalizes these standards. If only I could look like them, I would be perfect. We say that to ourselves, over and over, feeling worse and worse. The ideal Hollywood would show real people, with real features, real bodies, real faces. Maybe we can get there someday, but we are certainly a long way away. We can find that sometimes, but it's more of a treasure hunt than something easily visible. It's a good reminder that for now, while remembering that we should be kinder to the bodies of those we enjoy keeping up with, many of those bodies are not attained easily, and are not realistic for people living typical, even healthy lives. Just as we should be kinder to the bodies of public figures, we need to be kinder to the bodies that we are experiencing life in. Really, the end of the world as we know it might happen before we get to the ideal healthy body image in the public sphere. The driving factor will be finding which procedure, or medication, or treatment is the one that kills us all in the name of beauty.